Because this breeder is such a big name breeder and is so loved, we're not going to mention any names or try to call them out or anything like that, because like I said, this is a big name breeder and we don't want to have any conflict or make anybody mad because talking about a breeder that's so well known and so well respected. But me personally, I can't stand him. I believe he's got too much going on and doesn't care about focusing on his own customers. And the way he handled the whole situation, no communication, no nothing, didn't have a care in the world about the $850 snake that he sent me that he knew was probably going to die. I don't think he fed it not one time before he shipped it. And then on top of that, wouldn't even talk to me about what happened, wouldn't even acknowledge me. So I can't stand this breeder. I do not like this breeder. And if I was still the old me, I would probably find him at a reptile show and make this a big, huge deal. But that's the whole reason I got into these snakes, is to try not to be like that anymore, to try to calm myself down and not be that person anymore. So I'm not going to mention his name. I'm not going to try to make a big conflict out of it. But you will never hear us mention this breeder's name. You'll never hear us give him any kind of props. And I don't care if this breeder come up with the most awesome snake in the world or the most awesome gene in the world, discovered the most awesome gene in the world. I would never buy from this breeder ever again. I'll wait till somebody else has that snake that I want before I ever buy from this breeder again. I think he's trash and he doesn't have any respect for his customers. So I'm just going to leave it at that. We're not going to mention his name. We're not going to talk about him. And like I said, you will never hear us talk about this breeder. You'll never hear us promote him. You'll never hear us do anything about it. And I'm sure he can care less about it. He's, like I said, he's already a huge breeder, already well known. So I'm sure he obviously don't care about what people think about him. So it's not hurting him none. Even if we did say his name, it probably wouldn't hurt him none. So we're just not even going to mention his name. But it was because of that breeder that it set me back over a year and a half on that project. And if it weren't for that breeder, I would have probably been way ahead on certain stuff. Probably would have been not only way ahead, I probably would have been one of the first ones to come up with the Leopard Blackhead clown, because it wasn't until years later till you started seeing Leopard Blackhead clowns pop up. I believe the first one to come up with it was Creme de la Clutch, who came up with the first Leopard Blackhead clown clutch, especially the Super Blackhead version of it. And I feel like I would have been either right behind him or maybe even before him if I wouldn't have got ripped off by this big name breeder. That's whatever. And everything happens for a reason. And as you'll see on this clutch, maybe it happened. Maybe it did happen for a reason, and I actually made out better in the end. Y'all tell me what you think. Welcome back to Hypnotic Serpents. As you can see, Damien ain't here today. He's actually at a birthday party and he's with Amy, so bear with me while I try to do this by myself. But I had to do this video because this video right here is a really important video to me. Leviathan Snakes just did a video a couple weeks ago talking about grind projects. And what a grind project is when you start on a project from the complete bottom, which means starting from hits and breeding for years until you finally get to the goal that you want. And for them, it was an Xanthic clown. They got into an Xanthic clown project, and throughout the years, even though they got onto sunset stuff and stuff like that, they still stuck with that project. Even though it probably would have been easier for them to go buy one, they still wanted to breed one out themselves. And that reminded me of how much dedication and love I actually put into this project that I'm about to show you right now. And even though I've turned my attention to other projects like our Super Red Stripe stuff and our Krypton stuff, building up for our Krypton stuff, I almost forgot about how much love and dedication I've put into this project right here. And not only did the Leviathan video remind me of that and re-spark my enthusiasm for this project, but they also showed that they actually hit a banana version of what they were trying to hit. And that showed me how awesome the Xanthic and banana actually look together. I didn't really expect it to look that good together. I expected it to be kind of like the Snow project, which is kind of washed out looking and didn't look as good. But their Xanthic Banana Clown actually looked really awesome, and it actually gave me more high hopes for this project because the banana that we actually put to this female was actually 100% het TSK Xanthic. So at first I wasn't too excited about there being Xanthic and with the banana, but now I feel like it's a good thing, especially when you start getting more darker stuff into it. So who knows, maybe we'll be in the future make some awesome Xanthic banana stuff. But anyway, the point was they reminded me of the dedication and love that I put into this project, and that reminded me of all the crazy ups and downs I've been through over this project, and some of the sad losses we've had because of this project, and now some of the awesome stuff that has come through on this project. So being how crazy of a story this is, I figured I'd go ahead and tell the crazy tale of the Leopard Blackhead. So 6 years ago, I saw a video from Canova. Just from looking at the thumbnail, I knew I was in love with this serpent. I had to have this serpent. And what it was actually a Leopard Blackhead Mojave. Now the stars of this video was actually the Lavender Leopard Blackhead combos and the Pied Leopard Blackhead combos. But for me, the star of that video was the Leopard Blackhead Mojave. As soon as I seen that serpent, I was instantly in love. It was one of the most jet black ball pythons I've seen, with contrasting lines going down the back and on the sides. And to me, that snake was amazing. Right off the rip, I knew I had to have one. Instantly, before the video was even over, I was searching Morph Market to see if I can find one. But of course, there was no such thing on Morph Market. I don't know if he was the only one that had one at that time or what, but there was definitely none on Morph Market. So I started looking for Leopard Blackhead combos, which there was only a few of those on Morph Market at that time also, and especially that were heterozygous for anything. There was a couple on there that was Leopard Blackhead het Pied, there was a couple on there het Lavender, and a few of them that weren't het anything. And then after a couple days of looking on there trying to figure out which one I want to try to purchase, 2 brand new ones popped up from a pretty big name breeder. And I'm not sure if they were twins or what, but they both popped up at the same time from the same breeder, and they looked almost exactly alike, and they were awesome. And they were both het clown, and if you know us, you know we love clown. So one of those was the one I really wanted to get, but I had to wait till Friday for my paycheck to get it. So all week I was searching every day, morning, afternoon, and evening, to make sure that nobody bought it. And luckily, even though I was watching all the other Leopard Blackheads disappear off Morph Market, by Friday there was only a few left, and both of those were still on there. So out of the 2, I picked one that had a crazy black stripe going all the way down its belly. I really love crazy belly patterns. It's actually one of my goals to try to figure out how to make a ball python with a jet black belly. I think that would be awesome. Of course, I picked the one that had a solid black stripe going all the way down its belly. It was awesome. I loved it. And like I said, het clown on top of it. So we purchased it and went up to the hub and picked it up, and there happened to be a girl there, and she was actually delivering a snake. She was dropping a package off. And when she noticed the breeder that I was getting that from, because she asked us who we were getting from, when we told her who it was, she was excited. She said, "Wow, I always wanted to get something from them. I always wanted to go to their facility too." So this breeder is actually a big name breeder that's been around for a long time that a lot of people love. So we opened it right there on the spot, and as soon as we pulled it out, the first thing that the girl said was, "Wow, that's a really small baby." I didn't think nothing about it, because this was 6 years ago when we were just starting to get into it, and at this time we had only bought a couple snakes off Morph Market, and they were both subadults when we got them, and we still haven't hatched any of our own babies. So I didn't even realize how small this baby actually was. So we got it home, and I was in love with this thing. It was beautiful with a jet black stripe going all the way down its belly. I loved it. And when we weighed it, it was only 37 grams. I still didn't think nothing about it because, like I said, I really didn't know nothing about fresh babies yet, and I didn't know nothing about how big they should be before you sell them. But why this breeder sold this baby at only 37 grams, I don't know. And what I think this baby was actually a twin, and both the babies were small. I'm not even sure this baby had one meal before it was sold. And after we got it housed and everything, I tried to feed it and it wouldn't feed. But I didn't panic because I figured it was still getting used to its house, and I've done seen all kind of videos to where it could take a minute for a baby to get used to its new home before it starts eating again. So I asked around, and everybody I asked said that I should be patient and let it get used to its home and try not to force nothing on it yet. But those people that I asked didn't know how small this baby actually was. And after 2 weeks of it not eating, I started to worry. And I asked other breeders that I know, and they said still to be patient, that it hadn't been that long. But then when I told them how little this baby was, and they realized, they said that if it didn't eat the next time, the third time, that I should go ahead and assist feed it. So that week when I went to open the tub to feed it, to see if it would take a feeding or if I was going to have to assist feed it, it was dead. And I was heartbroken. To me, that was worse than losing a brand new puppy or something. I had a lot of my friends and family members that couldn't understand why I was so heartbroken over a snake. And a lot of them tell me it's not like it was a dog or a puppy or something, but to me, it hurt way worse than that. Not only did it hurt because I loved this snake so much, and the fact that it was pretty rare. There was no other ones that had a line down its belly like that, but there was already only a few on there when I got this one. So I had to hurry up and try to figure something out before they were gone. So instantly I called the breeder, and because he's such a big breeder, he had a secretary answer, because this is not a small time breeder. This is a big, really big, well-known breeder. And so he had a secretary answer, and when I explained everything to the secretary, they said, oh wow, well, let me go find him and explain everything to him, and I'll have him call you back. After hours of waiting, still no answer. After I called them back and got the secretary on the phone again, and I explained who I was and that I just called, the secretary put me on hold again. Then after waiting for a good minute, I realized that I was hung up on. Maybe we lost disconnection or what, I don't know. So I tried to call right back, no answer. Then I waited a minute and called from my wife's phone. And then when they answered, I explained the situation, explained who I was and what just happened, and the same thing. They put me on hold and just kept me on hold till I finally got sick of it and hung up. I tried messaging them back, and I tried calling them back after that. No answer, no nothing. I was furious. But then I had to try to find another Leopard Blackhead. I wasn't trying to yell at anybody or anything like that. I just figured maybe they could replace it with the one with the brother to it, since they had another one on there, and there was only a couple left on there. But I couldn't get no response, no message, not even anybody to talk to explain what happened. So now I'm furious, but I still need to find another Leopard Blackhead. So in the next couple days, I went on Morph Market to try to find another Leopard Blackhead, and nothing. Even the brother to that one was gone, ended up being sold. So now, I spent $850 on a Leopard Blackhead for my Leopard Blackhead project, and not only did I get sold one that was underweight and it ended up dying, but now there was nowhere on Morph Market or anywhere for me to buy. So that just stopped me dead in my tracks on my Leopard Blackhead project. And the reason why I wanted this Leopard Blackhead, because I wanted to make the Leopard Blackhead Mojave that I had seen on the Canova video. And the whole reason I wanted to make that snake was because as soon as I seen that video and seen that snake, the only thing that kept popping in my head was a banana version of it. And for anybody that doesn't know about a banana is kind of an albino looking snake, but darker. It has more purple to it, more color to it. And as it gets older, it ends up getting black spots inside of all the purples. And a lot of people don't like that. But for me, I do kind of like it, especially for the idea that I had. And my idea is that, so first off, if you can't tell already, my favorite color combos are black and gold. You can see through our whole farm that we have black and gold everywhere. But my favorite color by itself is purple. I really love dark purple. I don't know why, I just do. And purple and black look awesome together too. My goal is to try to make the most purplest banana I possibly can, and then after it gets older, hopefully when the spots come in, it makes the whole snake black and purple. How awesome would that be? And that was my instant dream. As soon as I seen that snake, that was what I wanted to do. So now because of that, that was all put on a hold. At this time I still worked for construction, and we did jobs all over Florida. So sometimes we'd be in the truck riding to our jobs for over 2 hours. It can be up to an hour, it could be up to 3 hours, depends on where we were working. And every day for almost a year and a half straight, I would check Morph Market. On the way to work, at lunchtime I would check it, and on the way home I would check it, looking for leopard blackheads. It was so bad that all I had to do was put L into my phone and leopard blackhead would automatically pop up. I searched for over a year and a half for leopard blackheads to start popping up. And after a year and a half, all of a sudden, I started seeing leopard blackheads pop up. And they were hets. Some of them were het pied, some of them were het clown, and every other day more and more would pop up. I almost jumped on the very first one that I seen that was het clown or het pied because I figured they would get snatched up quick. But luckily I waited. I just wanted to see what was going to start popping up because it was baby season, and that's why these ones were popping up. About 4 or 5 days later, there it was. The whole reason that I wanted a leopard blackhead was to make this snake, and there was 2 or 3 of them already that was popping up on Morph Market. I almost jumped on the very first one of them I saw and bought it because I figured people were going to snatch them up quick. But I figured I'd wait a couple more days to see if any better examples popped up. And sure enough, one did. This one popped up and automatically it stood out to me over all the rest. It seemed to me that it was darker black, especially in its head. And one of the reasons why I think it looked darker black because it had no eye stripes. And I don't know if it was because of the no eye stripes or what, but it made it seem like the head was so much darker black and the pattern on it was so much thinner. And seemed more contrasted. I don't know why, but I just felt love with that one. And what really made it stand out to me was the breeder had it listed as just a leopard blackhead. So I figured that was just a mistake on his end when he entered in the genetics on the Morph Market. And then I seen that he had one right next to it that was labeled as a leopard blackhead Mojave. But it was clearly not a leopard blackhead Mojave, but a leopard blackhead. So I figured maybe he just got them backwards and mixed up the 2 snakes on the genetics. But the leopard blackhead that he had listed as a leopard blackhead Mojave clearly wasn't a leopard blackhead Mojave, but just a leopard blackhead. But it was the nicest leopard blackhead that I've ever seen. So I started looking it up, and I started looking at it and really looking at it, and you can see on the tail it was bled together. There was a lot more blacks in it, and it had no eye stripes, just like the other one that had Mojave in it. So that intrigued my curiosity, and sure enough, when I looked into the description of it, of the parents, there was blackhead on both sides. Instantly, as soon as I seen this, I was almost positive that the one that was labeled as a leopard blackhead Mojave was actually a super blackhead leopard. But I didn't know for sure, so I looked into it, and what really confirmed it is when I seen a video from Tony Thomas, which is the owner of Hardwired Exotics. If you don't know who they are, definitely go check them out. And the reason why I looked him up is because he's kind of the man when it comes to the blackhead stuff, especially at that time. There was hardly any blackhead stuff at that time, and he had a lot of it, especially leopard blackhead. And sure enough, he had the exact snake on one of his videos, and he explained how it was a super blackhead leopard, and that one of the ways that you could tell was the no eye stripes. When you get super blackhead and leopard mixed together, it erases the eye stripes. So for me, that confirmed the one he had listed as a leopard blackhead Mojave was actually a super blackhead leopard, and the one that he had listed as a leopard blackhead, I was wondering if it was actually a super blackhead leopard Mojave, which would be so amazing if that was true, because that's not only the snake that I've been wanting and been dreaming of making, but that would be a super blackhead form of it. And for anybody that doesn't know, when you have a super form of a gene, like for instance super blackhead, anything you breed that to, all the babies will for sure have 100% blackhead in it, no matter what. So I went ahead and messaged the breeder, And the first thing I asked was if he mixed up the labels. And I told him that I think that the one he has labeled as a Leopard Blackhead is actually a Leopard Blackhead Mojave, and the one he has labeled as Leopard Blackhead Mojave was actually just a Leopard Blackhead. But he assured me that he knew what he was talking about, and that's what they were. So I didn't argue with him. I just let him know that I was interested in one of them. I just wasn't sure yet. So I told him I would get back with him. And I struggled with myself, fighting with myself in my head that I should get the one that I know is a Super Blackhead, because as a breeder, that would be the better buy. Because then I know that everything I breed that with is going to have Blackhead in it. But the whole reason I wanted a Leopard Blackhead was to make the other snake that was pictured right next to it, that I wasn't sure had Super Blackhead in it. But there was a possibility that it could have Super Blackhead in it because it didn't have any eye stripes. And like Tony Thomas said from Hardwired, when you get Super Blackhead with a leopard, it takes away the eye stripes. So there was a possibility that the one that I really wanted could also be Super Blackhead. But I wasn't sure. But I was sure about the other one. And right when I was about to pull the trigger on getting the other one, I said screw it. I went ahead and bought with my eyes, and I bought the one that I wanted. The reason that I wanted a Leopard Blackhead to begin with was for this snake. So screw it. I went ahead and bought it. And she was beautiful. She's just like now, she's still beautiful. And as you can see, as she got older, the eye stripe kind of came in just a little bit, only a little dot, almost like a little mole on the side of her eye. Just a little piece of her eye stripe. But that didn't come in for almost a whole year. And still, as you can see, there's still hardly any eye stripes at all, especially on the other side. And she's still, to this day, one of the best examples I've ever seen. Does she have Super Blackhead in her? I don't know. But as we're growing her up, I started getting really, really big into and passionate about making Super Red Stripe stuff. And the reason why we want to make Super Red Stripe stuff is for our Krypton stuff. Really, we want Super Red Stripe in everything because Red Stripe is a necessity gene that I love a lot. And if you have a super form of it, then that takes away all the guessing on the Red Stripe. And we love Super Red Stripe combos. So my goal lately has been to make as much Super Red Stripe stuff as we possibly can and get as much Krypton stuff as we possibly can because I really love the Krypton stuff. So while I've been focused on that, I kind of forgot about all of the dedication and time that I've put into this Leopard Blackhead Mojave project. But that doesn't mean I stopped with it altogether. We actually got a male just for her, not just for her, but we got it as a breeding pair because this male is a banana genetic stripe het TSK, and we got it as a breeding pair with a female pastel genetic stripe het TSK because I really want to make some genetic stripe stuff and TSK stuff. But it happens to be that male also has pastel in it. The male banana has pastel in it. And I was really not wanting to get any pastel into this Leopard Blackhead Mojave project, but we had no choice. It was the only male banana that we had to stick to her, so that's what we used. And then, when you know it, right before it was getting time for this clutch to hatch, we had an AC go out. And on top of that, before I realized it, I had been at work all day on a hot day. And when I got home and realized it, it was almost 90 degrees in the farm. So I freaked out, unplugged everything. Well, I didn't want any of the heat tape to be running since it was already 90 degrees. I had to race to Home Depot to go get another AC. We had to rip out a window to make everything fit. It was a little project. Had the whole farm a mess, ripping stuff out and putting a new AC in. And then after I got everything hooked up, I plugged everything back in for all the heat tape and the incubator. We still had eggs in the incubator, and the banana one was one of them, which only had a couple days left until it was due. And then on top of that, the day that we were supposed to pull the babies, we were actually doing a video of that egg cutting, and I was telling the story of what happened with the AC and all that. All of a sudden the incubator cut off. And we actually have it on video where right when I'm talking, the incubator cuts off and you can see me turn around and instantly my heart dropped because I figured the incubator just went out. because out of all the other crazy stuff that's happened, it seemed like something that would happen. But what it was when I unplugged everything, after the AC went off, and because it was already 90 degrees in here, I unplugged everything so that it didn't get any hotter in the incubator. And when I plugged everything back in, I must not have plugged the incubator in all the way. And when we were in here doing the videos, Damien was bouncing around doing what Damien does, and it must have shook it loose and cut the incubator off. It was actually a good thing that it happened, because we figured it out right then. Luckily it didn't happen another time when I wouldn't have realized it. But it was pretty crazy that all the bad stuff that's happened, and we just went through the stuff with the AC and everything, and right when we go to pull out that clutch, that happened to happen. So yeah, that was kind of crazy. And then on top of that, we ended up getting some crazy odds with this clutch. And by crazy odds, what I mean is we ended up getting all bananas except for one snake. So every snake out of this clutch ended up being banana, except for one. And then even crazier is I almost forgot about her being possible super blackhead until we seen these babies. And now I'm starting to wonder, is she actually a super blackhead? Because there's only 2 snakes in here that I'm not fully sure if they're blackhead or not. I think they are, but I'm not fully positive like I am the rest of them. So I'm gonna need y'all's help. Anybody who knows a lot about banana blackhead stuff? Alright, so this video was originally supposed to be about the clutch from these 2, but because that story was so long, it would have been like an hour-long video, so I had to clip it in half. But because that story is so crazy, I felt like I had to tell it, to show just how much dedication and time that I've put into this project, and the ups and downs I've been through. Especially over this girl right here. But the good thing is that the other video is already made, because all I did was clip it. So make sure you tune in next week to check out those babies. Those are definitely some of our most prettiest babies this year. Definitely check those out. And I need some of y'all to help me decide if Wednesday here is actually a super blackhead or not, because there's only 2 babies, so I'm not really sure about. So definitely tune in next week to help me figure that out, and check out the awesome babies from this pair right here, because they definitely gave us some really pretty babies. So definitely tune in next week to check that out. And like I said, that video is already made, so we'll probably put out early next week. So definitely look out for that early next week. And please help me try to figure out if Wednesday here is a super blackhead or not. So make sure you like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. See you next week.